Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, had a little free time, so I actually just stopped by Yankee Stadium there and went on one of the stadium tours, something I actually never did before there. Kind of got the tour as a gift for the holidays, so I had the chance to do it. So, if you never really did the Yankee Stadium tour, I'll kind of give you a little quick wrap-up. I don't want to give away too many spoilers there in case you do want to go. I'll just kind of let you know at least how my experience was with the thing there. So, figure have a little fun episode. So, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, the podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcast. There's also the YouTube version of the show. Go to YouTube, search for Section 420 Talkin Yankees, and subscribe to the channel. So, as I mentioned before, I as a holiday gift, I got a tour of the new Yankee Stadium. I never toured the new Yankee Stadium before, actually. Now, the only bad caveat is that maybe as you saw, they're doing a lot of renovations there in the outfield. I think they're increasing the Jumbotron and all this other stuff there. And because of a whole section under construction, unfortunately, Monument Park was off the list. Actually, even the old stadium, I've actually never been to Monument Park there. So, unfortunately, this version of the tour did not have Monument Park, which would have been cool. And also been cool maybe to get on the field, but they were still doing work. Now, with all the snow we had in the area recently, actually, the entire infield and outfield, it almost like the snow was almost like 10 foot high. It was huge. I'm sure they bulldoze and push a lot of it to make it that high, but it was actually quite high. But so the guys kind of working on, it seemed like they were working almost like on the third and first baselines. I don't know if they were putting down new grass or something there. So maybe I'll just take it back how the tour works. I guess first you kind of check in. I don't know if you know where the Hard Rock Cafe is at by Gate 6. You go in there, it's just like a dude at basically the end of the bar. It's like, you come in, I was like, the hostess probably thought I wanted to go there for, eat at Hard Rock, which was kind of empty. I was like, no, I was here for the tour. I was like, go see that guy at the end of the bar. So I guess they have two of the workers there, kind of, wrangles everyone up. I thought it would just be like me and maybe two other people, but I gotta say, they had about 15, 20 people on that slot, and they do, a couple slots a day. It seems like it starts around 10. Interestingly, if you would have gone by the ticket and head, it looks like there was slots anywhere from 10 o'clock in the morning to 4:40 in the afternoon. But maybe because it's the reduced size or the demand, this day it started at 10 and the last tour of the day was actually at 2 o'clock. So I caught the last one. Now we had a tour guide lady, kind of spunky type. First you go out in the main hall. So obviously if you ever gone into Yankee Stadium through the Hard Rock, you kind of walk through that hallway where the bathrooms are. You get in there, kind of give you a little spiel about the stadium. Again, I don't want to give too many spoilers away on that part. Then after that, we kind of go out onto the main level of the field, kind of by the third baseline, just walk around a little bit, just to see, you can see the field from the main level. Then once you get past that towards left field, there's another elevator bank, takes you up to the press box. So actually you can see how the press box is kind of interesting. When you first actually get off the elevator, there's kind of a cafeteria there, and that provides food for the press. And I think she said Yankee Stadium and maybe one or two other stadiums are the only stadiums that still have an outdoor press box. So, obviously everyone in the booth, Dave Sims and Susan and, people doing the Yes broadcast, they're all behind enclosed glass. But the actual press, they're actually out there freezing their behinds off or sweating, sweltering in the summertime. I mean, they are under the overhang, so at least they're shaded in the summertime. But, if it's cold there in October there, you got to sit out, you're pretty much sitting outside like a fan is, and you have a desk. And basically each, press person, they have a slot assigned to them. There's a nameplate, which right now they're all empty, but I'm sure during the season, the nameplate there, so that's your seat. Seats were kind of beat up, I noticed that. I mean, I guess looks like the seats were about as old as the new Yankee Stadium was. What we're going on, for 15 years now, 15 years without a World Series as well, championship. And kind of found it interesting too. So they're not your normal seats like when you go to a game, the seat that pulls down. It's actually it's a chair on wheels, but it's heavy. It's so you can't really, it's not like your typical office chair with wheels where you can just wheel yourself around. It's not like a traditional seat, but I guess they don't want people to kind of wheeling themselves away. I mean, or just like that, or, so it's almost like, yeah, you can wheel yourself, but the seat is very heavy. It doesn't move forward. It doesn't move easily. So then from there, they took us up to the press conference room. Interesting enough, there was this part of this hallway we walked through. This was the only part where they say no pictures, no video. Now, you can't take any video anywhere because they say it's Major League Baseball rules, but of course people take videos all the time, nevertheless. But they definitely wanted no pictures, no videos as we're going kind of do this hallway where they basically do the post-game press conferences, or if they have any big announcements, or if they sign a player like that, basically, I guess it's the press room, their press conference room, whatever you want to call it. I can understand that's probably where they sneak in dignitaries, and of course we know this past season the president visited the team there. So two things: there's the locker room, which is kind of closer to the dugout, and then from there there's I guess again she didn't really say it in so many words, but I think you could kind of go upstairs, and then they have the clubhouse. So locker room and clubhouse are not exactly the same. So the clubhouse is more like, she said it's basically a glorified living room for them. So it's probably where there's more couches, more chairs. And I believe the press can go into the locker room, but they can't go into the lounge, so to speak, there. Again, for some reason, during that floor, that hallway, we couldn't take any pictures at all. Just, they said, for security reasons. But then after that, once we went upstairs, we went to the suite level, which they showed us the suite. And then from that point forward, pictures were cool. And this kind of took us around to all the suites. And we found it interesting, too. All the suites have a number. So let's say the suite is number 8. All the Yankees who ever wore number 8. Now, obviously, not that many because there's only been Yogi Berra and Bill Dickey. But like take a, whatever, like a random number like 14 or 15. Like any Yankee who ever wore that number will also be recognized on the wall there. So I kind of found it interesting. Now, we could actually see inside the suite. Guy just mentioned they're all different sizes, just depending on the firm and all, or the corporation or the person who owns it. And some are big, some are small, some seem like to have some structures in there. Again, that can be customized. Again, it just depends who it is there. But unfortunately, we couldn't actually see inside the suite. And then last but not least, which you could go to anytime. I mean, even you don't have to take the tour to do it. The Yankee Museum, the Yankee Stadium Museum, which is always available before and during the game as well. And if you've been in there, you've been in there. Obviously, you got some Babe Ruth jerseys, Mantle jerseys, Lou Gehrig jerseys, Babe Ruth's bat, some old hats, and then there's a whole bunch of autographed balls, and not every single Yankee, of course, but just obviously has the Babe Ruths, has the Yogi Berras, but there's like like reliever Brian Bruni, his autograph is in there. It's just Jazz's autograph is in there, Rizzo's autograph, and someone like Scott Kamenicki or something from the early '90s. So all sorts of just random names, but of course the big names as well, like Mariano Rivera too. And that was pretty much it. And at the end there, they handed us a magnet. Which, again, if you take the magnet, go down to the Hard Rock again, you suppose you could get 15% off your bill. I was kind of hungry. I was going to do it, but I went down beforehand. I was sitting there waiting, and I was like, it's weird to go back and sit down again, open up into the tab. So as much as I would have liked to maybe take advantage of the 15% off at Hard Rock, I decided to have lunch elsewhere. And the tour lasted about an hour. I think it was just an hour pretty much on the dot. Been to the stadium a million times as a fan, but never did the tour before, so I think it was worth it. It was cool. So that's the episode. Took the Yankee Stadium tour. Got that off the bucket list. Hopefully I didn't give away too many spoilers, but, there was a lot more. The tour guide told us that I didn't want to say here because, again, I want to totally ruin it for you. But I think it's definitely worth to check it out if you're a Yankee fan. Catch you next time.